So before I talk about skin, science, tokens, all the serious things that would make a DeSci audience nod thoughtfully, I want to start with the most advanced technology available here in this room, your breath. Because skin health isn't only about what we put on the body. It's also about what the body is carrying on the inside. So, a very short, very low commitment meditation, I promise. After a full belly break, post-lunch break, nobody needs to levitate, nobody needs to reach enlightenment. Your badge can stay on. So, if that feels comfortable, I invite you to slightly close your eyes or gaze on the floor in front of you right now. Anchor your feet to the floor, solid. Shoulders down, relax your jaw. And now, inhale slowly through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Great. Once more. Inhale like you've just received a generous research grant. Let's go. Yeah. And let's exhale like you've just read the terms and conditions. All right. Great. And 3 more deep breaths at your own time and pace. Deep breath in. And out. Deep breath in. And out. Deep breath in, last one, let's go. And deep breath out. Now with your eyes still closed or still chill, now notice your skin for just a little bit. Your face, your hands, the tip of your nose, the tip of your fingers. Every place where you end and the world around you begins. That boundary, your skin, is doing extraordinary work every second of your life. It protects, it reacts, it remembers. It blushes when you're seen and burns when you're stressed. And for people with chronic skin conditions, this feels like it's permanently set to emergency notifications. One breath is not a treatment, but it points to something very true. When life gets loud, skin hears it. Now you can slowly blink your eyes open if it's not done already and come back to planet Earth. Well, come back to DeSci Berlin, everyone. So, skin health is not superficial. It's the way you sleep, the way you dress, the way you feel when someone looks at you a second too long, because one flare-up can rewrite an entire day. Skin deserves more than trend cycles and miracle claims. It deserves care that listens, science that moves, and a community that knows what it feels like to live inside a sensitive body. So now that we are slightly more regulated, one rigorous scientific question for you all. In this room, who has skin? Please raise your hand. Skin. Who has skin? Who has skin? Hi. Incredible. 100% response rate and peer review pending. So congratulations. Everyone, every single one of you here already has skin in the game. And that is exactly where DermaDAO begins. Not with a token, not with a white paper, with skin. So my way into this was not academic. It was highly personal. I lived with severe eczema and sensitive skin my whole life. I know the 3M version of it. Lying awake, trying not to scratch, negotiating with my own body. I also know the quiet calculations behind it. Which fabric, which weather, which week or day is gonna set it off for me. And I know the shelf. Yep. Years of products that promised everything but hopeful every single time. And we've all been there. You buy the product, it promises to change your life, your whole entire life, and your skin immediately files a formal complaint. Skin doesn't read marketing copy because skin is the most honest reviewer you will ever meet. So, before DermaDAO was a DeSci project, before any token model, it was a physical need. I didn't start with a DAO. I started with skin that needed help and a market that kept selling me hope instead. That's why the physical products matter so much. And we have a booth here today, maybe you saw, because DermaDAO is not meant to live in a Discord channel or a governance forum. It has to begin somewhere you can actually touch, that you can actually grasp. So the products at that booth are on side merch. They're the first chapter of the DermaDAO story. So now before I go deeper into DermaDAO as a research ecosystem, I want to make this more tangible. This project doesn't begin in theory. It begins with something you can hold in your hands. Moondrops is the renewal serum, formulated with the award-winning combo of vitamin C, vitamin E, and ferulic acid. Sundrops, it's this little twin here, very cute, is the mineral serum, and it is basically a very soothing and protective serum that is formulated with zinc oxide. And together, they work around the clock to renew and protect your skin day and night. These products, they are the first layer of DermaDAO. Before tokens, research funding, IP, there has to be trust. And in skin health, trust starts in the fingertips. How does it feel? What's the texture like? Does it sting? So please come to our booth after this. Try them, feel the textures, interrogate us about the ingredients. Tell us what your skin actually needs. Because the products aren't separate from DermaDAO. They're the opening move of its feedback loop. And behind these bottles, behind this beautiful booth, behind this whole project, there are people building from lived experience, product craft, and scientific curiosity. DermaDAO is not being built by anonymous accounts shouting community behind a Telegram avatar. It's being built by people who have lived skin conditions, studied them, treated them, formulated for them. So founders, formulators, dermatologists, researchers, patients, people tired of the gap between consumer skincare and serious science. And nearly everyone here has watched someone they love struggle with their skin. A friend, a family member, a loved one, maybe the person in your own mirror. Skin problems are personal, yet they're never solitary. They reach into households, relationships, sleep, confidence. They're quiet, yet everywhere. Which is why the answer can't be influencers holding jars near good lighting. We need researchers, patients, formulators, builders at the same table. So we're here to build a skin health ecosystem from lived experience outward. In skin health, trust begins physically. You can show the people the most beautiful pitch deck in the world, but if the cream stings, the deck will not save you. And let's be honest, we all read ingredient lists like we understand, but truth is, some labels read like a chemist and a wizard co-wrote them and never resolved their differences. People trust a product when the texture feels right, when the ingredients make sense. Nothing burns and the skin grows calmer and healthier and glowier. And the brand clearly understands the anxiety of putting something new on skin that has been betrayed before. That's why the booth matters today. A DAO can feel abstract. A product makes the mission something you can hold in one hand. And that is the first trust layer of DermaDAO. The skincare market is enormous, saturated, crowded, and incredibly good at selling hope in small, expensive containers. Yet people with chronic skin conditions remain underserved. The industry optimizes for trends, virality, fast claims, shelf appeal. But skin needs something slower and more serious. Safety, consistency, honesty, evidence. So most of us have owned a bathroom shelf that looked less like skincare and more like a graveyard of failed experiments. A museum of disappointment where every jar cost real hope and real money. DermaDAO exists because there is a canyon between consumer products and serious dermatology research. Consumer needs better products. Researchers need funding, data, translational pathways, and communities need a way to participate in what gets built instead of buying whatever survives the algorithm. Here is the key idea. The product is not the endpoint. It is the entry point. Products create trust. Trust create communities. Communities reveal stories. Stories reveal unmet needs. Unmet needs become research questions, and research questions become funded projects. And funded projects become IP, formulations, protocols, and maybe one day, therapies. In traditional skincare, you buy the product, maybe you leave a review or comment, and you dissolve back into the algorithm. In DermaDAO, the product is the beginning of a relationship. Imagine if every time someone said, ooh, this worked wonders for me, or ooh, this burned, or ooh, I was able to sleep through the night thanks to this magical cream. This knowledge didn't vanish into customer service inbox. Imagine this became research intelligence. DermaDAO turns product users' community into users into community members, research contributors, and eventually stakeholders in the future of skin health. Every conversation at the booth can become a skin story, a research insight, or future collaboration. Skin conditions are genuinely complex, like immune system, microbiome, barrier, genetics, environment, stress, all at once, you name it. So skin is basically a dramatic group chat in between like your immune system, your hormones, whatever you ate last week or yesterday, and nobody ever leaves the chat. Traditional research is slow, siloed, and expensive. And many real patient needs fall into the gap between consumer skincare and pharmaceutical research. Too small for pharma, too serious for the beauty aisle. DeSci offers a different model here. Community-funded research, transparent governance, shared ownership, faster experimentation, and new funding routes for the neglected middle. DermaDAO applies that model to skin. So the product gets the people in the door, DeSci gives them a seat at the table. Now, let's talk about skin. Possibly the most honest ticker in crypto. No cute dogs, no frogs, no lasers, just skin. Skin is the future token of DermaDAO, but not another governance token where the main utility is arguing or whatever. The vision is participation in a skin health economy, connecting product, research, community, and value. DermaDAO starts with a mission and a tokenized community. The community helps fund and shape real products and research. As formulation, IP, and commercial activity grow, the value flows back into the ecosystem, and skin is the coordination layer linking the two. And look, most of us have owned here a token whose only utility was to wait for a stranger to buy it later. Well, we want to aim a bit higher than musical chairs, because with skin, the ambition is to connect token participation to real-world products, research, assets, and ecosystem value. The exact legal and regulatory design has to be built carefully, and it will be, of course, but the intention is clear. Skin should be more than just a simple vote. It should represent meaningful participation in the upside of a real skin health ecosystem. The products make the DAO tangible. Skin makes the community economically aligned. So when we say skin in the game, we mean it literally, scientifically, emotionally, and eventually economically. So the booth today is not a sales table. It's a living prototype of this whole ecosystem. The products, the people, the community, and how one connects to the next. So when you come by, please don't just admire the products from far away and be shy. Please touch the products, feel them, feel the textures, interrogate us. Tell us what your skin has put you through. We're genuinely listening. Because when someone comes to our booth, they're not just trying on products. They're entering a conversation about what the future of skin health should look like. The bigger vision is that DermaDAO becomes a new kind of skin health infrastructure. Not just a brand, not just a research fund, not just a DAO, but a real bridge between the bathroom shelf, the lab bench, and a community that owns a piece of both. Community-led research priorities, token-governed funding, partnership with labs, product testing communities, patient registries, formulation innovations, microbiome peptide research, and new physical products backed by DAO science. We're building a loop here where people with skin conditions don't just consume solutions. They shape them, fund them, and sharing the value they create. And for once, the people who carry the problem also get to carry some of the ownership too. And honestly, if my skin insists on being this dramatic, the least it can do is contribute to science, I guess. So, here's my invitation. If you're a researcher, bring us the questions that deserve funding. If you are a builder, help us design the infrastructure. If you are a partner, a founder, an investor, help us turn skincare into skin science. And if you're a person with skin, which per our earlier landmark study is everyone here, come to the booth. Try moon drops, try sun drops. Ask us questions. Share your skin story. DermaDAO starts with something simple. A product you can hold, a texture you can feel, a story you already know because you've lived some of it somehow. But the vision here is much bigger. A community-led engine for the future of skin health. So come to the booth, put some skin in the game, and help us imagine what dermatology becomes when the people who live with skin conditions finally help build and own the solutions. Let's build the future of skin health together. Thank you.